What's going on, guys? It's Titan here with a brand new video for you guys. But first things first, as always, hope you guys are having an amazing day. So today's video, we're going to be jumping back into our Bloons Star Defense 6 walkthrough slash playthrough slash guide. And for today's guide, we're going to be jumping onto Balance Chimps mode. So for this mode, we will be using the brand new hero, Sauda, as our hero. Don't worry, guys, if you guys do not have Sauda unlocked, I will go back through and use a different hero for the Chimps mode. It's just because it's a brand new map, I figured we might as well use the brand new hero on it. So now that I went ahead and covered that, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Alright guys, the first thing that we're going to be starting off with is, of course, we're going to be starting off with our hero, Sauda. Now, with our hero, we want to place her as close to the left as we can possibly fit her. As soon as we can get her placed down, just like so. Perfect. Alright, now that we have our Sauda placed down, we can go ahead and fast forward. Now, guys, this chimp strat will work as long as Sauda stays the way she is. As soon as Ninja Kiwi nerfs her or anything crazy like that, things will change a little bit, but that's exactly why I will be creating a second chimps guide for this map using a different hero opposed to using Sauda. It's just, again, because she's a brand new hero, I wanted to use her right off the bat. Alright guys, now that we have Sauda down, we are going to be going for a tack shooter right here in the center, because if you guys are paying attention, you guys will notice that the balloons circle around the center of the map. I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 times before they go to leave the map, making this the ideal map to use the tack shooter on. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going for a 205 tack shooter. We're going to be upgrading him all the way up to tack zone. Now, the reason why I chose to go with the top path tack shooter opposed to the middle pathway is because we want our tack shooter to attack as fast as possible, because we really don't need to worry about long range simply because of the amount of times that the balloons will actually circle around the center of the map, making the tack zone the perfect tower to use on this map. Alright guys, and there's not much really that we need to do. I mean, the tack shooter and Sauda do an amazing job at dealing with all of these rounds. Even if we only used Sauda here, she would still be able to carry us for quite a few rounds. Alright, so there we have our tack sprayer now. Now, once we get our tack sprayer, the next thing that we're gonna be going for is we're gonna be going for an alchemist. Now, the reason why we're going for our alchemist is we want to make sure that we have the ability to pop lead balloons, because that's the only thing that we're going to be weak against are lead balloons. But once we get that alchemist going, then we're going to be perfectly fine, because not only is our tack shooter going to be able to pop leads, our Sauda is also going to be able to pop leads. Alright, so there we go. Let's go ahead, and we want again to place our alchemist as low down as we can get him. That way we can go ahead and ensure that both Sauda and our tack shooter will end up getting the acidic mixture buff. On top of that, we're also going to swap our alchemist over to targeting strong. That way, when we do have to deal with the lead balloons, just in case our Sauda and our tack shooter are unable to deal with the lead balloons, at least we have the alchemist as a little bit of backup. But alright guys, there's not much else that we need to do. We just need to save up all of the money for overdrive. I'm not going to use her tier 3 ability just yet, or her level 3 ability just yet. So feel free to use it as much as you guys want, but for the most part, you guys shouldn't need to use it. So guys, sit back, relax, and I will see you guys as soon as I have enough money to upgrade my tack shooter. Alright guys, here we are on round 29, and as you guys can see, we just were able to afford our overdrive on round 29, making round 29 super easy for us just to beat. And exactly as I predicted, the alchemist was just a little bit short on the buff for the tack shooter and Sauda, but luckily, because we did have the tack shooter, we were still able to deal with the lead balloons. But alright guys, and now the next thing that we need to go for is we're going to be going for a monkey village. Now with this monkey village, we want to place it again as close to the right as we can get it here, because ideally we would be able to buff Sauda with it, but for the most part it's just not close enough. There's just too much distance, and the way that the map is set up, unfortunately we're only going to be able to buff our alchemist and our tack shooter. So what we want to do with this tack shooter is we just want to go ahead and upgrade it to grow blocker, and then we're going to be going for radar scanner as soon as we can. The reason why I chose to go with radar scanner opposed to going with jungle drums first is just so we have a little bit of added protection against against the camo balloons. Even though Sauda is absolutely shredding these balloons, it would be nice to have a little bit of added protection against the camo balloons themselves. But alright guys, now the next thing that we're going to be saving up for is we're going to be saving up for jungle drums. So again, as soon as we can afford to buy our jungle drums, we're going to go ahead and do so. And once we get our jungle drums, it's pretty much going to be smooth sailing all the way up until the point where we can afford to buy our tax zone. Alright, as soon as we have our jungle drums, perfect. Now that we have our jungle drums, the next thing that we want to do is we want to upgrade our monkey village to primary training and then primary mentoring, because of course the primary training and primary mentoring is going to massively increase our tax shooters popping power, which is what we're going to need on round 40. So one thing I'm going to do for round 40 is I am going to use Sauda's ability just to give us a little bit more popping power against the Moab balloon, because although we do have these two high tier towers down, I would like to have a little bit of added protection. And while I was talking, I missed the Moab balloon completely and we didn't even have to use it. Alright, so now that we have our primary training and we have our tax zone, we are going to upgrade our alchemist to stronger stimulant to go ahead and increase our tower's popping power. Just a little bit, and then once we get all of this upgraded, especially once we get primary training, that's when we're going to kick back, relax, and upgrade our tax shooter to the tax zone. Guys, again, there's not much else that we need to do. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward all the way to the point where we can afford to buy the tax zone, and I'll bring you guys back as soon as we can. Alright guys, we are officially on round 56 and we can almost afford to buy our tax zone. So now that we have our tax zone, we are setting in a very, very good place. The next thing that we're going to be going for after getting our tax zone is we're going to buy a wizard monkey. And I think you guys already know what I'm going to be going for, but I'm going to be going for a Prince of Darkness. The reason why I chose to go with a Prince of Darkness is again the same reason why I chose to go with the tax zone, and it's because once we get the Prince of Darkness, undead balloons will actually circle around this center part, making this center part an absolute monstrosity of just like damage, because the undead BFBs, the undead Moab balloons, will be able to constantly do damage all of the balloons for the simple fact of how close this area actually is. So by going for the Prince of Darkness, we're pretty much turning the center part of this map into a cluster of just pure damage against the balloons. Alright, so like I said, the next thing that we're going to be saving up for is we're going to be saving up for the Prince of Darkness. There's not much else that we need to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fast forward all the way to when we can afford the Prince of Darkness, and I'll bring you guys back as soon as we can. Alright guys, and here we are on round 77, and as you guys can see, we have enough money to afford our Prince of Darkness. Now that we have our Prince of Darkness and our tax zone, we are not quite done with our composition yet, because we still have a lot of money that we're going to end up making before this Chimps run's actually over. So what I'm going to be going for is I'm going to be going for a monkey ace. Now you guys may have an idea of what I'm going to be going for on this monkey ace, but I'm going to be going for a sky shredder. So the reason why I'm going to be going for a sky shredder is because you have all of this damage in the center of the map, and then once you add the sky shredder on the outside, the sky shredder will absolutely rip all of these balloons apart. Now the only problem with the sky shredder is he is a little bit on the pricey side, so it will take us a couple of rounds to be able to afford him, meaning roughly probably past round 90 is when we're actually going to be able to afford the $43,000 for the Sky Shredder. But if I did all of my math correct, we should be able to afford him before this chimp run is over. So guys, again, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a speedy bit all the way up until the point where we can afford to buy the Sky Shredder, and then I'll bring you guys back for the end of the Chimps mode. So guys, again, one last time, sit back, relax, I'll see you guys here in just a second. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring you back on round 89 because as you guys can see, we have $42,000 saved up, so we should be able to afford our Sky Shredder here in just 1 second. So as soon as we can afford to buy our Sky Shredder, we're going to go ahead and buy him, and there we go guys. This is almost the final composition. The only thing that is left over that we need to get is we need to make sure that our Sky Shredder is actually able to hit Camel Bloons. And the only reason why I didn't go for the Monkey Village right out of the gates is because we had the Prince of Darkness, and the Prince of Darkness will actually reveal Camel Bloons, meaning that we really didn't need to worry too much about the our Monkey Ace being able to see Camel Bloons. Alright, there we go. Let's go ahead and upgrade him to Jungle Drums with Radar Scanner. And now the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be grabbing an Alchemist, and we're going to throw an Alchemist upgrade to Stronger Stimulant on top of our Monkey Ace just to buff him even more. So as soon as we can afford to upgrade our Alchemist to Stronger Sim, we're going to go ahead and do so. Again, it shouldn't take us too long because we are on round 93. Now, the only issue that we're going to have past this is that we're still going to have a little bit of money left over, and I honestly have no idea what to spend it on. Because this composition right here is enough to beat the Chimps mode. We really don't need to do anything else. For the most part, I think the next thing that we could go for is maybe we could grab ourselves either a Mortar Monkey and upgrade it to Shattering Shells, or we could go for a Glue Gunner, we could go for a Middle Pathway Ninja, we could go for a May Moab. Like, the possibilities are endless, but for the most part, like I said, we really don't need to do anything else. I think what I will end up doing, though, is I will grab a Spike Factory, and I'll upgrade it all the way to Spike Storm with White Hot Spikes. The reason why I chose to go with Spike Storm is because it does do a lot of damage to the Bad Balloon. And just so we make easy work of the Bad Balloon and we really don't struggle with it too much, I figured that going with the Spike Storm would be a really good option for us. And on top of that, we can actually afford multiple Spike Storms, so we're definitely going to be able to deal with the Bad Balloon on round 100. Alright, so let's go ahead and activate a couple of Sauda's abilities here. We could also go with the Carpet of Spikes and easily shred through all of these balloons. We are officially on round 98, guys, and as you guys can see, this composition is not struggling one bit in dealing with any of these balloons. Like, and it's not just because of the new hero, because if we look at the pop count, Sauda only has 155,000 pops, opposed to the Tax Zone that has 500,000, and then you have the Wizard Monkey that has 550,000. On top of that, the Monkey Ace, even though we just got the Monkey Ace, is absolutely shredding through all of these balloons, guys. And I almost forgot that we were on round 100. Let's just go and activate our Spike Storms. And there you have it, guys. That is how you officially beat Chimps on the brand new map, Balanced. Alright guys, there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys found this guide helpful, or if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe as well. I do upload quite a bit of Bloons Tower Defense 6 content. But anyways, guys, you already know what time it is. I hope you guys have the most amazing day of your lives, and I'll see you guys in the next one.